You know natural talent is a lie? I mean, hear me out. You think Babe Ruth was born with a baseball bat? No, he trained in practice. You think Michael Jordan came out of the womb dribbling a basketball? No, he put in over 10,000 hours before he was 7 years old. So natural talent is a lie. He was possessed with a drive and a hunger to be the greatest. Talent was not a born option. It was a mastered trade skill that you can also learn. Let me explain how self-sabotage has taken out 2 generations so far, and if you're not careful, you're next. So if you're 55 and younger, pay attention. Stick with me till the end on this one. In today's culture, the dominating phrase is, "No, I was never taught that." How many of you have heard this? Raise your hands. Hit that like button. So at some point, we need to grow up and start taking responsibility. Stop self-sabotaging. Stop self-victimizing, y'all. And we need to start learning self-reliance. I mean, whatever happened to multi-generations helping each other do the best in life? So let us stop blaming and start changing yourself for the greatest. I mean, let's take it. Everybody feels the boot of life upon their necks. However, this trauma is not unique. It happens to us all. For it takes elder knowledge and youth's strength to run the world properly. So if you are feeling stuck in life, that's okay. Embrace that. Because again, natural talent is a lie. You will suck before success. You will fail to greatness. As the whole of humanity strives for advancement and perfection of living life to the fullest, in 2025 though, the advancements of technology and AI alone have freed us and saved thousands of hours across the globe each day. And humanity as a whole has never had so much freedom in all of its history, leaving one to ask, what is going to happen here in the future? Well, that is truly up to you. As we see the 2 youngest of our generations give up due to lack of curiosity or fear and lack of motivation. This instant gratification culture is ruining the world and all of our children. More than ever, our generations are divided by ever-growing hostilities and jealous rage. So let's break this down, everybody. Let's just break it down so we can all really truly understand what is going on and why we need to be helping each other instead of being mad. Currently, baby boomers hold all the wealth. Yes, Gen X and millennials are running the companies and are the managers. While Gen Z is supposed to be learning the business from Gen X and the millennials, and then passing down the trait to Gen Alpha and showing them how to start the grind. However, this chain is now broken. It is broken by resentment, laziness, and fear. The fear of not knowing, and the fear of having to work too much. You don't know is 60,000 businesses are going to be transferring over within the next 5 years alone. And Gen X and millennials will not receive this wealth unless the assets are properly transferred over. And yes, we are using the term assets because what you don't understand is this is not a monetary wealth that is being passed over. These are businesses. These are houses, these are boats, these are planes, etc. Yes, the amount of work to keep a business going is staggering, but is 1,000 times more staggering to start a fresh business from scratch, especially in 2025. So the younger generations run away from businesses thinking it's way too much work. Well, there goes your bubble. I am 43 years old, and I can honestly say that being a creator and an entrepreneur, it is 10 to 100 times harder to achieve entrepreneurship than it is to take over a current thriving business that already has all of its clientele. If you want real fucking money, learn a business that you're interested in. Learn something that you actually like doing so you can do it each day, day in and day out. You're going to learn that you hate what you now love doing, but at least it gives you that hunger and that drive to become great. And in lieu, this would allow you to find a business that is adequate for you and something that you like and are interested in doing. Thus, you are becoming a paid intern, being employed while learning management and ownership traits. And then when come the time for your generation to take over that business, it can be passed down by a buyer's agreement, thus allowing you to pay in installments. So the person who is retiring, you can pay them off with the current clientele that they have already built up. Thus, you give them so much money each year out of the annual revenue until you pay them off. Then you give them another 2 to 5% in that revenue, in that yearly revenue, in perpetuity for the rest of the remaining life. So this is how we transfer businesses over without having banks, without pulling out loans, without having extra overhead costs. Everything can be transferred over smoothly, and you would already know the business, because if you're going to be doing something like that, that means you've already interned for it. You've already worked the business and you've already had hands-on experience. If there's anybody still listening, please listen up. This is for you. Out of these 60,000 businesses that are going to be transferred over within the next 5 years, find your match. Go in and see how you can take over a company, because that is going to take only 1 to 3 years of adjustment versus 10 to 15 years of starting from scratch, which 7 out of 8 businesses fail. That means 93% of new businesses fail in the first year. And only 5% of those businesses that do make it earn $1 million within its first 10 years. So taking over a current business is better than starting from scratch. Everything is already established with its clientele and for the business. It's already up and going, so you don't need to do the hard work on that end. Thus, this is saving businesses that are already thriving from closing just because somebody wants to retire and somebody else is just too lazy to want to learn how to take over the job or company. And if there's anybody out there who knows how to code, maybe you can create that into an app. Create an app for people to transfer their businesses over to the next generation so they don't have to just close down shop. There's money in that. So what I'm trying to say here is, why don't you figure out what one of those 60,000 jobs can actually transfer to you? How can you start creating wealth? Because sacrifice is a personal thing. Do you want to sacrifice 1 to 3 years by taking over a business, or do you want to sacrifice 10 to 15 years and most likely failing by starting your own? And we all know sacrifice is a personal quest, but we cannot see the rainbow without the storm of life chasing after us. It's how we move through this storm of life that really matters. All of us compare our work to professionals that have been doing it for decades. And now we are comparing our work to AI that does it immediately, making us feel slow, inadequate, sloppy, and inundated and full of doubt. I mean, it's like comparing a 5-year-old's finger painting to a Monet, y'all. So let's stop focusing on everybody else's perfection and start focusing on our flops, so that way we can learn how to be the perfection and the great ones. It takes 100 non-stop hours for you to become a professional at any one given thing in life. And then it takes 10,000 hours, which is the equivalent of 3.6 years of non-stop obsessing hours for you to become a master at something. And that's just one thing in life. So why don't we take who's already a master at these businesses, go and train underneath of them, and then take their business over as they retire? Because mastering something means that it's now second nature. They can do it automatically. They can do their job in their sleep now because they have done it for 50 years plus. 50 years, that is over 50,000 hours of practice at that one job. So yes, you want to learn from the professionals. You want to learn the skilled trade, because we all start life as a novice, brand new. No outlooks, no talent. The only thing we know how to do is breathe, sleep, and eat. So to recognize that somebody 20 to 50 years older than us actually has the skilled trades to teach us how to run a business is key. This is why it's very important for each generation to pass down those trade skills. because AI technology will never be as efficient as human trade skills and the craftsmanship that we can provide. So hands-on skills will always be needed, will always be cherished, and it will always be valuable for anybody coming up here in the future. So what's stopping you? I don't want to look stupid. Well, it's already stupid not to try. Why haven't you tried? Because I'm going to fail. Well, you've already failed by not trying, right? I mean, at least trying and failing provides you insight and real-life experiences on what and how to do it the second time around. But I don't know what I'm doing. Who does at first? This is why it's called practice, practice, practice. You will suck to succeed and you will fail to greatness. So just start it, just do it already. Because to properly gauge where you stand on any one thing in life, you have to do the task at least once to see what else you need to learn in order to properly get it done the next time around. And then perfectionism happens every single time you do it after and after that. So you will fail to greatness as long as you never quit trying and never stop learning. And I just want you to take this with you. Are the thoughts and words that you tell yourself encouraging or harmful? Do they manipulate or do they uplift? Do your words and outlooks encourage those around you, or do they manipulate and try to control them? For we often do to others that we most do to ourselves. So I invite you to reflect on your thoughts, your words, and recall the times that you calculated hate and anger with those words. I'm bringing this up because the energy that you put behind those moments comes back to you, and usually much more intensely. So at this time, I want you to tell yourself that you love you. Say, I love me. Now tell yourself that you forgive yourself for every bad thought, for you did not know at the time, and I am sorry. This is the first real step to action in healing the world, all by simply healing ourselves, just to make room for the greatness in all the tasks that we must face in order to achieve it. So yes, it's going to take time. Anything great is worth taking the time and effort to do so. It is worth building the foundations of morals and integrity, of self-love and worth. For this will give you the strength through life's chaotic storms. This self-love and awareness will rise you up to become the greatest version of yourself yet. The one who finds value in learning. So take the time to reflect and heal. And no, you're not alone. It is just your personal perspective in a personalized mindset. You are the captain of this perspective. And the time is now, Captain, so go out there and do it. Have fun and the best of luck. Until next time.